Another key feature of our mobile kit system is such that we have push bars. Push bars on both ends, so you and a partner can actually go ahead and push this around the job site. Now it's heavy, it's almost 2,600 pounds loaded. So, and of course with everything we have label plates and it tells you the tare weight as well as the complete loaded weight, so your operator doesn't have to really worry about or try to guess what the weight is. So these push bars are removable as well. If you ever want to remove them for some reason, maybe you want to store them back at the shop. We have stacking posts. Now what are stacking posts? These posts are removable. So if you want this sent out on your job site and you don't want this kind of going all over and getting lost, you can actually take them up and store them, or you can just keep them in here. The value of these stacking posts allows us to stack 2 of these carts on top of each other on the job site. So we basically get 400 linear feet, okay, and 440 square foot of space. So you can stack 2 of these on top of each other when you're storing, when you're shipping them, 2 side by side on a trailer, double stack. You think of how much product you can get on one shipment. And we know right now logistics costs a ton of money. It's a big part of the business, but we did everything in our power so that we can minimize the cost of logistics, saving you time and money in the end. I probably don't need all this stuff on me.
All right, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead.
Okay. Greetings from Minnesota. Beautiful day here. Today, sorry, hang on, start over. Okay, so, hello everyone. Deb Hilmerson here with Hilmerson Safety, and we are here to talk about the features and the benefits of the Hilmerson Safety Rail Kit system that we have. We're going to start with talking about the significant values of having a complete kit system. The kit itself contains 200 linear feet of our safety rail system with the associated anchored bases. Now you may be familiar with our other system, which we have the same safety rail, but we have a weighted base system, which we'll go through before, which is a non-penetrating weighted base. Our anchored system is really meant for concrete. Okay, so you're going to anchor into the concrete. We have done something different than a lot of our competition. We require one single anchor itself. Okay, one single. This is a 1/2 by 3.5 inch reusable Hilti anchor. And so the benefits out of this system is such that this is a mobile cart, so it allows you to move it along with you during the installation. So I'm going to set this back in here. We have a nice basket, so where there's a place for everything has its place, the old motto there. So we're going to start with going around the system. So as you can see, we have casters. We have mobile casters on this cart. This cart is roughly 11 feet long by 4.5 feet wide, okay? So we can push it along during the installation, take it out, set it, and keep moving along. The casters we have, as I said, the two of them are swivel style. 2 of them, they all lock, so it allows you to kind of maneuver the cart around. The other features of the cart is that we have, you can see here we have 4-way pick points right in the corners each side, so you're allowed to, you're able to actually pick this kit up as a full unit with a tower crane, mobile crane. Truthfully, you could do it with the forklift using our fork pockets, but we know that it's important for you to be able to get this thing around the job site in an efficient manner. In addition to the 4-way pick points and the fork pockets, we have a couple things here. We have a push rail on both sides, so both people, one on one end and the other one on the other end, can actually push the cart along its way. We have a basket. This side basket contains the associated anchored bases you would need to complete this 200 linear foot system. We will have the anchors in there as well as our gravity locks that lock the safety rail to the base. We also have these posts. They come on, or go on and go off. And during shipping, during freight, we actually like you to take them off because we don't need them on unless you're going to ship them double stacked. So the value of this system right now is you're able to, let's stop that. I don't like that. I don't like that portion. Okay.
Can I move to the back side and we can talk?
Yeah, we could talk.
And the,
Sure, we can.
and the posts and then
Yep.
maybe they can see that. Alright.
Another key component of our mobile kit system is this locking bar mechanism. It is actually removable. If you want to take them out, you'll need to take it out to actually remove these safety rails. But the reason why we put this in is we thought about logistics and taking a forklift and moving this thing around the job site. We know that we have uneven terrain. We like this bar in here because it keeps them all stable. Now these are 52 pounds a piece, so they're pretty heavy anyway. But again, we're doing everything in our power to keep the system as safe as possible, and when you're handling it, safe for everybody around the system. You are able to actually put a lock on the other side of it. There's a hole for a lock in the event that you don't want someone else, maybe a subcontractor sees your system, they love it and they want to rob it for the day or whatever, and you could just lock the unit so that they can't take it, and then you can control the where everything is at within the system.
Alright, we're recording.
When coming up with the Hilmerson Safety Rail System, we knew that having a product that could sustain our elements, be user-friendly, no mechanisms out there's no mechanical stuff that you have to worry about. Everything is what you see is what you get. The cart for moving, storing and stacking stuff is super important for us for the logistics of it, because our customers typically buy our stuff and go from one job to the next job. Just talk about the inventorying right now. A lot of times you'll get stuff back from a job site and maybe you send it to your yard, and the people in the yard have to shake it all out, and they're jumping in bins trying to get the material out of it, try to get a count and all that. With our system, we wanted to keep it simple, very, very simple. You walk right over here, you count 20 safety rails. If there's 18, you're missing 2. Easy to see if you want to just cheat. All you have to do is see if there's any kind of prong that doesn't have a safety rail. I see that there's 1 over here. That means I only have 19 safety rails. So the job site owes me 1. The other part that you could do is you look at the anchored bases. With 20 safety rails, you'll need 21 anchored bases. You always need to add 1 to your end of your run for a full complete system. All you'd have to do is count right here. So very, very simple versus getting stuff back from the job in some sort of a bin or a dumpster or whatever you do, and then having multiple people have to handle it with multiple opportunities for strain back and pinch fingers and everything. Everything just goes right back in its place.
I was gonna make that.
I think they're pretty good. I got the inventorying. Should we talk specifically about the inventorying? I mentioned a little bit.
Did you get these tools that you
Okay, so right now I'm going to talk about the Hilmerson safety rail system and the safety rails themselves. We manufacture 5-foot safety rails, 10-foot rail. We have an adjustable rail, which is a safety rail that goes from 5.5 to 9 feet, and I'll show you those a little later, or I'll demonstrate those. But the biggest difference in all the years that I've done this, which is the reason why I came up with this, is because I used to install other systems. Most of those systems were powder coated paint systems. Unlike ours, which are hot dip galvanized, we dip it in a vat and we allow it to dry, so that will make it last so much longer. The likelihood of it rusting is very, very nil. Our competition that uses powder coat, just paint on the exterior, is just, once that paint nicks and it's exposed to the elements, now all you're going to do is get rusting. And when you have rusting of a safety system, then you have liability, and I don't want anything to do with that. Obviously, we're Hilmerson Safety, we're safety first with everything we do. But the safety rail in itself, the difference is, this is a 13 gauge hot dip galvanized system. We modeled it after the scaffold system in the industry. We've been using scaffolding forever. I mean, you'll probably recall all the way back to bamboo, and then we moved into metal. And so we modeled it after that. Again, 1 5/8 hot dip galvanized. One of the things that we also did differently is we have a vertical post right here. When installing other people's systems, oftentimes they didn't have the integrated toe board. Now we make them with or without the integrated toe board. I personally, in construction, to prevent material from being kicked over the edge, in a lot of situations, it's actually required to have a toe board. So this vertical tube, which is really nice, what I found is our competition, where the safety rails end up having bends and such, dents, is right here where the forks come and grab it. Now I don't want the forklift to grab it. That's why we had to have a cart for you. But if in fact you don't buy the cart, which I understand, sometimes the cart's a little expensive, and you don't have the budget for it right now, that additional vertical post will give it added strength. We also have, of course, our integrated mid rail. Okay, so 42-inch, mid rail 21-inch, and then our toe board. The other big thing which I really value, and when you're out on the job you'll probably see this more than you have before, because I'm going to bring it to you, we cope everything. Our competition pinches. So when you pinch these systems together and weld it to the upright, and especially if it's powder coated, if you look on the job where the damage is occurring, it's occurring in these pinched areas, and the rust shows up here. Next thing you know, this becomes very weak. I'm not here to talk bad about anything else. It's just we've taken what the people prior to me created, but then with my 30 years of experience, made it even better for you. Knowing that the construction industry, we're tough on stuff, and we have to make something that's robust, that'll last in the industry, that'll actually provide the protection needed to keep our people from falling off the edge and dying as a result of it.
That was good.
Okay.
That can't be light.
No, it's like 55 pounds. So I'll talk about a couple of the other benefits. I think I want to make a little note that this is our, this is one of the first carts that we made as a demo unit, so you can see it's over 10 years old. It's still in pretty good shape. It takes a beating. How do I want to start it? So one of the other key components is that when we spent 2.5 years out in the field talking with large general contractors throughout the country about how can we make leading edge fall protection better, You know, obviously they wanted something that was reusable, that was lean, that fell in the 5 or 6S programs. And from my perspective, I really wanted to know, okay, if something could get damaged on here that would be replaceable, what would it be? So the cart, when we came up with the cart system, we said, okay, what's one of the things that possibly could get damaged during the multiple use lifting with a forklift and cranes and moving it around with different things? And we knew that the casters, you know, could possibly be one challenge that you have. If somebody is operating the forklift, doesn't lift it up high enough, and he pulls the load out or she pulls the load out and the caster catches on the curb or whatever you're using it for, that it could damage the casters. Well, I didn't want you to have to worry about, okay, how are we going to replace that? I'm going to have somebody go out and weld something up and then cause a potential problem. So we made it so that, knowing that that might be one of the things that would be damaged, we made those removable. So if in fact you do damage a caster, all you do is pop off these 4 bolts, call us up, we'll send you another caster out, pop the bolts back on, and it's a done deal. The other thing that we did, knowing that most of us in the industry know this, anytime you have some sort of a prong style system on the job site, we know that they get bent up. So somebody would take, you know, they get bent up, so what do you'll find? You'll find people doing this and trying to straighten it back up. Over time, after a while, that may weaken the actual steel itself, even though this is a robust system, heavy duty system. We also made this plate removable. So if the plate that holds all the pins that holds all the safety rail in place, you're able to pop this off, call us up, we'll send you a replacement, bolt it back on, and you're good to go.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
We put a lot of thought into this. Let me think of what else. Yeah, I think since we have a pretty good shot right here, I think I want to talk about the actual the safety rail itself. We've done it before, but I want to talk about the differences in our stuff compared to somebody else. So is that a good spot for you?
Ready when you are.
Okay. So as we've been talking about the benefits of the mobile kit system, I wanted to bring up, some of you may be watching this and saying, boy, that system looks kind of haggard. Quite honestly, this is our initial unit that we made back almost 11 years ago. I've trekked it around the country from Seattle to Florida, California, you name it, and it's really done a great job. But you can see the casters we gotten a little bit worn out, which is fine. We can replace those. But I did want to talk to you about just a couple changes that we made from the initial prototype cart that we made. One of the big changes that we made was the 4-way pick point here. We started with these heavy duty D-rings. We changed it to have an integrated hook system that allows you to take a shackle and connect the shackle to the actual anchor itself, and then connect it to your four-way straps or whatever you're using. So that's one change. So this is the initial prototype. The other change that we made, and this one was spent since then, is we originally had this basket. The basket went all the way out to here, okay, on both ends. So when you hook the straps up to fly this using your 4-way pick points, that strap would get bound up in here. So we made that change. Those are the only two changes that we made in 10 years. So you can see the value of spending 2.5 to 3 years going out in the field and talking to the people who do this best, which is you guys, and telling us, what do you like, or how. The big question that I always ask is, tell me how this won't work for you. And honestly, we've not had to make any change with the exception of those two minor changes, which were 10 years ago.
was perfect. Okay, I'll start recording.
So with the Helmerson safety rail system, our goal is so that you have minimal components. We manufacture a 5-foot safety rail, a 10-foot safety rail, and we have an adjustable safety rail from 5.5 to 9 feet. Now in situations where you may have a 3-foot opening, all we use is tube and knuckle clamping, just like you do on job sites using system scaffolding. What that does is it just minimizes you from having to store and maintain a 5-foot, 6-foot, 7, 7.5, 8, 9-foot. You get the gist. We don't want you to have to do all that. Okay, so very minimal components, 5-foot, 10-foot, and adjustable. So I'm going to talk about the 5-foot safety rail right now. 5-foot safety rail, again, this one has the integrated tow board. If you don't need a tow board, you don't have to worry about it. We just get it without the tow board. We have the 10-foot safety rail. Our 10-foot safety rail has a vertical upright, horizontal post, integrated tow board. All of our product is made out of 1 5/8 hot dip galvanized. So that's why you see these little holes in here. Some people say, well, what are these little holes? That's because we dip our product into a vat of material that allows it to soak inside the safety rail itself, whereas our competition is, if anything, it might be post galvanized or painted. So we dip it inside, and we hang it and allows it to kind of come down and exit out through the holes. As I said, a very important part of this is this vertical post right here. It just gives it much more strength and stability. We have our horizontal at 21 inches, 42 inch, 21 inch halfway, and our tow board down at the bottom. 1 5/8, as I said, tubing, same material made out of scaffolding. So why reinvent the wheel? Just use something that's worked really well for us throughout the years. Big component from my perspective is right here. We cope everything. We cope all of our connections. We don't pinch them. That's where the failures occur, especially on powder coated safety rails. That's where the weak spot is. We're doing everything in our power as safety professionals to minimize the opportunity for risk out there, and we've learned those opportunities for risk out there just through the years of experience that we have, and using systems and components that other people have made that were fine and maybe just don't last as long, but we wanted it to be very robust, and we wanted it to last forever, to be honest with you. Would love it for you guys to invest in our system so that you don't have to buy another system. We're going to move over to our adjustable we call it the adjustable safety rail. Again, everything here has the integrated tow board because we're on job sites, on construction sites mainly, and we need that tow board to prevent material from being struck over the edge. But this adjustable rail is really pretty cool. I'm proud to say that we're a part of this. We got people's involvement in it. They are heavy, not gonna lie to you, but it's a very cool system. So I'll walk over here and I'll show you how that works. Everything we do with respect to our weighted base system, our safety rail, we call it a gravity lock. I'm sure you're familiar with it. We use them in scaffolding all the time. This is a gravity lock that actually holds the safety rail, prevents it from uplift. So let's just say that you're at a job and you're going from multi-levels and your tower crane or your crane grabs it and goes to lift it, and somebody next to you have a tag line on something and it gets caught on this. We don't want this to lift up and then have that become a falling object hazard. So we recommend you using a gravity clip. Sits nice in there and it just stays there. There's other type of locking mechanisms if you need to actually lock it. We can have a locking pin, you can have a different kind of pin. But anyways, that's how we secure our safety rail to the base itself. This weighted base system, now I'm going to pop this adjustable safety rail off. So let's just say that I want to go from 5.5 feet, but I need an 8-footer. So I just move it this way, move the base back, and I install the safety rail. So it's like an accordion. It goes in and out. Very cool, but it minimizes your need to to inventory so many different lengths of scaffold of safety rail systems.
That's cool. I never do that.
My problem is it's harder than a bitch to get back in when you don't do it very much. And I need some WD-40. Oh, fucking, oh shit, sorry.
That's okay. That's cool. Can you do the lock for me up close?
This?
Yeah, I just want to get like a
Yep.
better shot.
Well, we have two different ones, so, well, other ones as well, but.
Okay. Alright. Now I got it.
Okay. So the method we use to secure our safety rail to our weighted base system is the simple gravity lock. If you've been in construction, you've probably seen these laying around on your job site. This is a very common piece of equipment we use when using scaffolding. So why reinvent the wheel? If you got scaffolding on your site, you probably have these. But what this does, you put the locking pin in, it prevents it from lifting up. Again, the important part of that, and it's part of the installation instruction, is to have these pinned, is to prevent this from uplift in the event that someone is hoisting around you, and maybe they have a tag line or they catch the piece of equipment they're hoisting onto the safety rail. If this isn't pinned, it will lift it up, and it could be a falling object hazard. So part of our requirements are that you pin this actual safety rail to the base. We have a couple different options. You can have one of these pins. I personally like the gravity lock better. My luck is I'd be taking a claw hammer like this, and I'd be like going and taking it out, and it'd fling down on the jaw and maybe hit somebody. So it's up to you. Whatever you want to use. I mean, we make it so that it's versatile for whatever your application is.
Perfect.
Good thing it went in nice and easy for that. So we could talk about debris netting. Let me see if I have one of these in here. Yep. So people often ask, how come we don't use some sort of a meshing in between our safety rail, like you'll see for debris protection? In my opinion, we chose not to do that because the likelihood of that getting damaged on the job site is probably pretty significant. Like I said, we beat our stuff up really well, and I didn't want the mesh to get damaged because then it becomes a protrusion hazard. And especially if it's not galvanized, if like others, they powder coat them. Once that gets damaged, it becomes a protrusion hazard, but it also can be an issue for tetanus. So stuff rusts, and next thing you know, you have other issues on your job and other concerns for the person that's working around it. So we decided that, hey, we're gonna keep it simple. Debris netting is a dime a dozen. At the end of the job, we typically roll it up and throw it away because it's full of holes. So inexpensive way to provide debris protection would be just to take the debris netting that you can buy, and we use these things called wind clips. You've probably seen these on scaffolding. When you poly a scaffold section up, you'll see that these little wind clips are perfect. So instead of reinventing the wheel again, let's just use something that's already available in the marketplace. I recommend cutting these things in half. They don't have to be this big, and all you do is put the debris netting on and you snap these things on. Now on the bottom, you'll probably have to zip tie it of some sort just to keep it from blowing like this, but we thought an easier, more simple solution, a more, I guess it would be efficient and cost efficient system other than having it fully embedded into the safety rail that could possibly get damaged and cause other issues.
Nice. Are we like at like one of your customers' parking lot, or where are we?
No, I keep my truck and trailer across at a location in one of my buddy's offices, and he lets me store it.
Okay. This one was for like bigger machines that like aren't a forklift to pick up this little thing.
No, it's not necessarily. Let's just say you're doing a big tower crane.
Okay.
Okay, you have a tower crane and you can't get the forklift 50
Right.
feet in the air, so you pick it with that. Now this is our first iteration. We've changed. Okay, let me know. All right, you ready? So this is called a spanner bar. It adjusts. Okay, we have a short one and we have a longer one. Where you may want to use these or consider using these, and let's just say that you have a space that's maybe 36 inches. Maybe you're you're connecting to a vertical fixed ladder, or you're connecting to another structure itself, and you need to close the gap between here and here so that you don't have a fall hazard. Very simple. Connect this here, connect this to your other piece, do the same down here for the mid rail, and you're good to go. So again, this is our spanner bar. Inexpensive tool, but very valuable tool.
Nice. Okay.
To a different style of welded, because these are, I don't want to highlight too much of this other than as four-way pick points, because if you look at the new style photo, you'll see that it's all embedded. It's a big, this is a D-ring. It's nice, but I like them. I wanted a fully embedded weld with a hook where you put a shackle through it.
Okay. Okay, so then we have these, which is for stacking.
Stacking posts, yep. And I can hold this up if you want to get a shot of the locking. This is the locking bar.
Okay. Bring this up. Okay.
This is another. It's important for us to, show the tear weight. It's important to have that, because then the forklift operator knows how much it weighs.
Okay.
It's pretty bright. I might be able to store. Like, what if I put the shadow on it?
And then
I think we can add that one. I'm gonna take this. I will talk about this too, just the debris netting.
Okay. All right. What's next?
I think I'm gonna have. I think I want to. Can you go on the grass? I want to talk about the 200-pound down and out, because.
All right.
I must say this is one of the best things that we've created, and the biggest, most important part of our weighted base system. We just got done talking about the Hilmerson Safety Rail System kit, utilizing the anchored bases. At the same time, in the event that you don't want to anchor, perhaps you're on a PT deck, or you don't want to anchor that base into a finished floor, you can use our non-penetrated weighted base system, which is a 70-pound OSHA compliant. Everything we do here is OSHA compliant. But I'm going to talk about the mobile dolly. A lot of times our customers will call and they'll say, hey, would you like a couple mobile dollies? And they'll say, no, that's no big deal. The guys can carry these around. Well, these weighted bases are 70 pounds. And I know we have a lot of strong people out in our industry, but it doesn't make sense to me. That thing is 70 pounds. Why carry it around the job site? Why not just take this little mobile dolly, hook it to the weighted base, use one hand, these nice big heavy tires. You can go through the dirt, you can go through rubble, go obviously on tar, concrete, you name it. Makes it really, really nice and easy. Why break your back? It's not necessary. Very inexpensive, but very important tool that I think is a must. If you have our weighted bases, this is something that has to be ordered along with them. I can bring this closer so that, because you can kind of nip, you can cut some of these pieces out and stuff. But I want to talk about the way you can, if you have to pick this thing up. So I'm going to be down here a little bit. So this is our weighted base system, again, 70 pounds each, OSHA compliant. Obviously when you use it as a system, we'll get into how you have to install it properly to ensure that you get the minimum 200-pound down and out requirement per OSHA requirements. But with our weighted base system, 3/4-inch plate steel, of course everything is made in America. We're proud American builders. We have stickers on it that give the instructions. Of course, if the stickers come out, just call us up. We'll just send them back out to you, replace them. But we always like to have these warning stickers on here. One of the big things that we do here have is this hole right here. You'll see this hole is slotted. Okay. Other systems have holes at 90 degrees. And that's fine if everything is square, but as you know in construction, not everything is square. So we made it slotted, so it allows you to get a little bit more of a radius on some of the locations where you might not be able to put the pin in. And I'll talk to you about the value of using a secured pin and what its value is. But again, the slotted holes, as I said earlier, when using that mobile dolly, sometimes you get in a situation where you might not be able to use that mobile dolly, so you actually have to carry them. One of the things that we made is we made a nice carrying handle. Now obviously the 70 pounds, you don't want your fingers in the way, you don't want to pinch your fingers, you don't want to strain your back, but if you do in fact have to carry it, we made it so that you tip it up one way, walk over, and whoopsie. I'll start over.
Just start from the part where you're like, when you think you do need to use your hands.
Okay. So if you do have to actually move this by hand, all you do is flip this up, let it rest. You walk right over, you bend your knees, of course, you flip it up. You can lean it on your leg if you want to get a hold. And you have this and you lift it and you carry it. Okay, when you set it back down, we recommend you to set it back down the same way. Keep your hands away and lay it down. You'll have to snip this next piece in. And so, let's see. Each one of our weighted base systems comes with pads underneath. 2 strips of padding, okay, to prevent slipping. Obviously if you're on ice, that's not going to do much good, but it does add some protection underneath. If you really wanted it fully padded, we could do that too, but right now we've always used these 2 pads and we've not had any issues. They can come off. Just being real here, in our industry, we beat this stuff up. They can come off. If they do, no big deal. You clean out the surface, call us back up. We'll give you 2 more pads and you replace it. Again, the goal for you all, and for me, the goal is so that you buy, if you're going to invest in something, I want you to invest in something that's going to last. I can tell you right now, this system will outlast me. Later in my career, I hope I get to live a long life. But you know, I don't want you to have to buy stuff over and over and over. Unlike, you know, your Apple phone, you buy a new one, you have to buy new attachments all the time. I don't want you to have to do that. I want you to buy one system and have various attachment points so that you can utilize the system that you purchased and get it to all your jobs and use it for the jobs that we have out in the industry. That was stupid, but
I like that.
you can cut and paste it.
No, I like that.
So I may have I'm going to talk about the 5-foot rail system. We talked about the 10-footer over there. So I'll talk about the 5-footer, and then I want to talk about our adjustable rail.
Okay.
So I'm not sure where you want to be.
So are we going to do one and cut to the other, or do it all at once?
I mean, I guess I could just...
All right, we're rolling.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about a very important part of the utilization of our system. We call this a passive guardrail system. There's a lot of others out on the marketplace too, but the actual installation is very similar in all that we make. To get the OSHA required 200-pound down and out requirement to keep it from moving, you'll always have to have a minimum of a 5-foot guardrail on the end of your run. So let's just say that I have 5 of these in a row. So 5, 10 feet, so you have 50 feet of leading edge fall protection. I would have to have one 5-foot on that end and another 5-foot on the other end. Now why? Just think about it. If this is not here, this acts as a counterbalance. I would be able to just take and push this right over the edge. I know it seems very common sense-ish, but I can't tell you how many times I go on a job site and I see a passive system, whether it's our system or our competition, and they're installed improperly. That is one of the reasons why we're very different than our competition. We offer free training. I'll get on a flight, come and see you. I'll drive my truck and trailer. We'll come out, we'll train your people free. Okay? That's a cost that we'll take on, because we want to make sure that you have a system that you're proud to use, that your people know exactly how to use, because we don't want to have an issue. We don't want to have anybody get hurt on our job site. So again, from our perspective, if you need help and you've never used a system before, you have my direct phone number. You can call me anytime. I'm always going to be there to help you out. In addition, on our website, we've made animated videos that if you can watch it, and you don't even have to hear it, but if you can watch it, you can actually install these. It's a super, super simple, easy system to use, but very damaging if you don't install it properly. Someone can get hurt. So it's very, very important that your people are trained, that there's a competent person with regards to fall protection on your project.
That was really good. I